Good day. Welcome into First Take exclusively on YouTube. Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharpe. I'm Molly Qerim, and I probably shouldn't have this hat on anymore because we're not talking about the Cowboys. We're going hoops. Things really coming together in Milwaukee as Giannis and Dame combined for 65 points in a win versus the Rockets. The Greek feat passes Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as the all-time franchise leader in rebounds and now leads the franchise in points, rebounds, and assists. Meanwhile, Milwaukee has won 6 of their last 7 and are right behind the Celtics in the East. Stephen A. nipping at their heels. So during Milwaukee's 4-game win streak, Giannis and Dame are combining to score 63 points per game after Giannis scored 64 himself against the Pacers, putting on a show. Dame has scored 30 in back-to-back games. So here's the question. Stephen A., are the Celtics and Bucks on a different tier from the rest of the teams in the East? Like, are they neck and neck, and then it's
they're neck and neck. But Shannon Sharpe, there's somebody else that we have to include in this equation. It's going to be the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yes.
Philadelphia 76ers are winners of 6 straight. Philadelphia 76ers are 18-7 on the season. Philadelphia 76ers have the reigning league MVP who looks absolutely sensational and unstoppable. And let's not forget Tyrese Maxey. And James Harden's departure has been an additive for them. It's also been an additive for the Clippers, by the way, which is something we'll get into later. But I'm looking at Philadelphia right now, and I can't summarily dismiss the Philadelphia 76ers. The pace of play that Nick Nurse has implemented as a championship coach, this team is feeding off of that. They score more, they get more shot opportunities, all right? And Embiid and Maxey together look like an ideal tandem for years to come. I'm incredibly impressed with what I'm seeing from the 76ers, Shannon. And I got to say, they're on tier with Milwaukee, more so than Boston, in my opinion, but with Milwaukee and Boston to a certain degree.
Shannon, where are you on this?
I agree with everything Stephen A. said for the simple fact Joel Embiid can dominate a game by himself. He can clearly take a game over. We see him getting 50. We see him getting 44 points in 3 quarters. And now you throw Tyrese Maxey in there, and I hate using the term throw, but since the departure of James Harden, he's getting a more opportunity. He knows he's the number 2 guy. You get Tobias Harris, you get Kelly Oubre. Those guys are playing extremely well. But if you had to rank it, probably right now, yeah, I would say Boston, Milwaukee, and the 76ers. But don't just dismiss the 76ers and think the Milwaukee Bucks and the 76ers are going to run away with the East, because I don't believe that. I believe because Joel Embiid is still playing at an MVP level. And I think with Tyrese Maxey budgeting into a star player on the cusp of trying to become a superstar, I think when it's all said and done, they'll be right there. They will not go away easy, and whomever beat the Sixers, it's probably going to be 6 or 7 games, Stephen A.
All right. Let's head out to the West quickly, guys, where the Timberwolves are thriving. Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards go for 40 and 37 respectively to shut down the Pacers. Minnesota at the top of the West only have 5 losses so far this season, so the Wolves getting it done on both sides of the floor. They've been the league's top defense all season, as evidenced by them holding the Pacers to nearly 20 points fewer than their scoring average. Shannon, tell me this, though. How real are the T-Wolves?
Well, I'm not going to say anything notwithstanding against the Pacers, because the Pacers play no defense. All they want to do is try to push the tempo. They take a make or miss. They'll take the ball out of the net if you make it, and they'll push the tempo if you miss it. But they play no defense. I watched them lose to the Lakers in the play-in tournament, and the Lakers had 86 points in the paint, and LeBron James missed 4 layups, and AD missed 2. They should have been over 100. But I think what I'm most impressed by is that how well Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert has played together, because it was a nightmare last year. I think they found their roles. I think they found their spacing, and Anthony Edwards has gotten better and better every single season since he's been in the NBA. So, yes, I am surprised that they have the best record in the West, and, yes, I do think they can compete. Do I think in a 7-game series they're going to beat the Nuggets or a team like that? The Clippers are starting to play well. Anthony Davis continues to play the way he's playing. Do I think they can beat one of those 3 teams in a 7-game series? I don't right now, but they might be able to change my mind. But I've been very impressed, Stephen A., with where they played thus far this season.
So am I. And Anthony Edwards is a star on the rise. He's got superstar written all over him. He's averaging 24 a game. He's shooting 44% from the field, 39% from three-point range. He's been incredibly impressive. I got a lot of love for him. Got an NBA body. He's got moxie, ain't scared. His athleticism is off the charts. He's a superstar in the making. He's not quite there yet, but I think he'll get there. Here's what I would tell you is 2 question marks. He's averaging 4 more shots per game than Karl Anthony Towns, Shannon. Karl Anthony Towns is shooting 7% better from the field and 4% better from three-point range. You might want to get him some more shots. Okay, that's number 1.
Yep.
And number 2, when playoff time arrives, you're talking about a best-of-7 series.
Yeah.
Matchups matter. And Rudy Gobert, who's averaging 2.4 blocks per game, who's averaging 12 rebounds per game, who is formidable defensively, that is great when you're going up against Denver. What's not so great is when you're going up against teams who push the ball up the floor and are capable of beating you from the perimeter. You can't send Rudy Gobert out to defend in that particular situation. As a result of that, you got to take him out of the game. And because you're taking him out of the game, that's going to inhibit you defensively, which means what we're seeing, essentially, in my estimation, in all likelihood, is fool's gold, because that's not what you're going to see come playoff time defensively. Again, they're a good team.
Yep. All
right. I like them a lot. Love, Anthony Edwards. Karl Anthony Towns can't be underestimated in terms of the contribution he's capable of making. But when we look at that number 1 defense, that's going to be problematic when it comes playoff time, because you're going to go small to make them go small, and as a result, it's going to inhibit their ability to be formidable defensively.
And you remember, Stephen A., Rudy Gobert became unplayable in the 4th quarter when he was in Utah because there was not a matchup that he could deal with. They had the smaller guys, they bring him away from the basket, and they blow by him. And now all of a sudden, that 7-2 frame serves you no purpose because he can't clog the lane. He's out on the perimeter trying to chase guys around. So that's the question. How much will you be able to play him come 4th quarter so his size helps you in the defensive on the defensive end? Because it doesn't serve you any purpose to have a 7-2, 7-3 guy on the bench because he can't block shots or alter shots from that location. So we're going to see if they can continue to play. It's early, like you said, it's early on the 22 games into the regular season. Check with me back around February or March, and then I was like, okay, they might be on to something. But right now, I still have my trepidations, but I am surprised that they're the number 1 seed in the West.
All right, we'll leave it there. Shay Sharpe, you go enjoy that sunshine, possibly the.
Thank you very much.
You ain't got to smile like that. You got to rub it in. You got to rub it in.
We'll see you in the morning, okay? We'll probably see you on Instagram or YouTube before then. But until then, Stephen A., you have a fabulous day.
You do the same.
Hope you have an umbrella. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good times. Make sure you watch us on YouTube and on ESPN.